Hey guys, it's Jack Fuki again. I'm back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the Bandai Tamashii Nations Freddie Mercury figure. Freddie has been immortalized here in his Wembley Stadium outfit from their final concert, or one of their final concerts, something like that. And I think it's a pretty cool subject for them to use for a figure. It's pretty unusual considering that Bandai SH Figuarts always does Power Rangers or Kamen Rider or famous robots from different anime series. Yeah, it's pretty cool. This kind of keeps in tune with the Michael Jackson figure who came out. They did do the Daft Punk figures, so who knows who they'll do next. I hope they maybe do a figure of David Bowie or Prince. I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe even Jimi Hendrix, or I don't know, just any musical icon they can get the rights to do would be actually pretty cool. But anyway, I had Freddie on order since about March, mid-March. I got him in the mail about 2 weeks ago. Did a video, didn't come out right, and so now that I've really got a lot of time since I'm a teacher, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing more of these videos. And this is the first one I decided to do. Anyway, you can see the box is pretty cool. Standard SH Figuarts window box. Keeps everything on display there in the window. You can see Freddie's signature there. A couple of warning things. Of course, the Tamashii Nations logo, the Bandai logo, and then it's got that weird little thing that they put down here that makes absolutely no real sense. And I think they could have explained what this says, you know, in simpler language. They really need to hire an English or Japanese to English translator to get this stuff right. Because some of the stuff that they write on these boxes, I'm not going to lie to you, and it's not to say shit on anybody's culture or anything like that. It's just the God's honest truth. SH Figuarts has some of the worst translations on these, and some of it makes absolutely no sense, as we'll probably see here on the back of the box. But anyway, there's the box right there. Of course, on the side it has him there in his famous pose, and there of course is the back of the box. It does have a few things up here. It says introducing a grand revival from Queen's final tour days, Freddie Mercury in action figure form. And then down here it has a bunch of other crap in English, talking about, you know, how dynamic the figure is and how posable he is and so forth. And then down here you see him with his wide open mouth hitting a high note, and then you see him right here, you know, just with his mouth barely open, singing Wembley pose. And then there he is up on stage. And of course, those are pictures of the actual figure. That's not, you know, a live, or that's not a real life pic, I guess, or a picture of the actual Freddie Mercury. That's how cool it looks. I mean, it really looks lifelike. But anyway, do a little bit of a close up here. You can see there's the face selection right there. Pretty cool. I mean, he really got the likeness down just right, and yeah, I'm happy with the figure. But if you're really into Freddie Mercury, you're really going to like this figure. If you're really into Queen as well, you're really going to like this figure. But before I ramble on and on. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside the package. All right, and there's the tray pulled out of the package. Other things that come in the box are the instructions for how to replace the hands, and it also has the cardstock mirror background. And that's pretty much it. Otherwise, there's his hands, all of his hand options, his microphone options, head options, and of course the figure itself. So let's break them out of the tray and take a closer look. All right, so there's the two head options and there's the microphone option that I'm actually going to use with the final posed figure. Couple things to note is that, you know, you do have a lot of people out there who are kind of anal retentive when it comes to the detail work that they do on these action figures and the accessories. And I think there's a person out there that I saw in a video, and I know a couple people that I do know who have actually gotten this figure. They get a little anal retentive over certain things. It's like, you know, the microphone is the least of my worries. I mean, if you look at the head sculpts there, I mean, that looks like Freddie Mercury. And even though the microphone doesn't have a ton of detail to it, you know what? That looks like a microphone. But I could give a rat's ass if it has little buttons on it, or if it has little lights on it, or, you know, or whatever. You know, does its job. It's just an accessory. It's not the main event here, okay? I like this one more than the standard one that it comes with, the one that's by itself. The one that's by itself looks just like this, but it doesn't have the hinge. It doesn't have this part to it either. But you can see it does hinge. I advise all of you who do want to buy this figure not to really screw around with that too much, because that fisheye hinge seems like it could break if you move around that microphone too much, if you swing it around or pivot it or whatever you want to say. But, you know, it's pretty cool. Made of plastic, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and bend this, but, you know that plastic does bend. But I like it. You have to kind of keep this pinched between like these two fingers, and then this part rests there on the actual figure. So it keeps it pretty firm in his hand, and it doesn't fall out or anything if you position it right. The heads, of course, there is that head with his mouth slightly opened, just singing, nothing major, not hitting any high notes. I will note that the hairline there at his temple, they didn't get the paint all the way to the edge like they did with the other side. You can see it's real sharp there, and then there they didn't quite get it. I know that it's shaped differently here, but you know, his hair did look different on that side than this side, just like anybody else. They got the nose right. They got the ears. I guess the ears are right. I haven't studied it that close, but you know, pretty cool. And here's the one where he's hitting the high notes, or high note. See that crooked tooth in there? Really got his head down just right on this one. I mean, not that the other one it isn't, but this one really came out nice. Of course, the nose makes or breaks this figure, because if they did a different nose, it just wouldn't look quite right. The dimples there, his cheeks, his forehead, the bridge of his nose there. Really nice. It even looks like those are real eyelashes too when you look at it. But yeah, that pretty much does it for those. I'm not going to swap out the heads or anything, but yeah, I just thought you'd want to take a real close look at them. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the actual figure. And there's Freddie right there. So there's that. You don't know how an action figure bends and poses and God knows what, then you really shouldn't be messing with action figures. I actually debated on showing the posability of this figure. Oh yeah, he does have ankle pivot, but this one's a little stiff. This one not so much, but I don't want to force it and break it. You know, most Figuarts figures pose like this. I do have a Common Rider figure that probably has the best posability of any Figuarts, but that's because that one was retooled. But that's pretty much it for the posability, and let's get him into a pose. And there's Freddie posed in his Wembley pose. You know, it really depends on what angle you get this at when you film it or photograph it. You know, when I look at it, it looks just like on the back of the box, but from this angle, it doesn't look like it. And it's not exact, but you know, I guess it's again another one of those anal retentive things. I mean, if you don't really, I guess if you don't really have anything better to do than nitpick, then I guess so. But anyway, that's how he looks. Do a little bit of a close-up here. I actually like not using the stand for this thing because I can really go in close and so forth. But you can see right there what I was talking about with the microphone. Oh, hey, there's, what is that? Oh, it's Captain America. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But that's the only way to get it to really hold in there. I mean, I guess if you could take, I guess you can take the other microphone and do the same thing, but it's not really a pose he's known for, I suppose. And that was another thing. I stopped and thought about that. It's like, man, what other poses can I put this guy in? Because I mean, you know, this is the pose that if you have a figure of him in this outfit, this is what he's gonna look like. You know, this is the one you're gonna choose, you know? Oh, the stability on this is pretty good too. And the joints, well, you know, action figures are action figures. Some people complain about the joints on figures, and I'm like, well, I mean, what difference does it make? I mean, you know, it comes with the territory. But there you go. There's the Freddie Mercury Wembley concert figure from Bandai SH Figuarts. Hope you enjoyed seeing this, and hope you didn't get too bored over my explanation over everything. And that should do it. All right, I'll see you in the next review.